In your testimony, you mentioned American universities partnering with CCP transplant centers to train transplant surgeons and conduct joint research. You also mentioned that some of these partnerships received NIH funding. Do you have a comprehensive list that you can provide this commission of instances where there is U.S. government-funded American universities that are funding transplant research supported by the CCP? I know you mentioned you're putting together that list.
I don't know if I can provide a comprehensive list because it's a process, but I will provide the best list I can. Yeah.
I recently introduced legislation to ban federal funding to universities that employ foreign researchers who were previously employed by the Chinese Communist government, specifically those that work in sensitive research areas. Do you agree that U.S. taxpayer dollars should not go to universities that financially, directly or indirectly, support the Chinese government facilitating illegal organ harvesting?
So this is a complete no-brainer, absolutely. And just as a matter of fact, right, even people that come here, there are people that come here that want freedom, that are not wanting to work for the Chinese Communist Party, but their national intelligence law demands that they do, that they provide, that they basically spy and not admit that they're doing so. So it's a very difficult situation that people are put in. But I would say any sensitive area, forced organ harvesting, absolutely, but any sensitive area, it doesn't make sense.
One other concern that I have raised is some American universities, as we know, operate branch campuses in communist China. And I recently introduced legislation to stop the flow of taxpayer dollars to these institutions that, frankly, are profiting off of our adversaries. Are you concerned that these universities, and therefore American taxpayers, could be directly or indirectly implicated in cases of organ harvesting?
I'm absolutely concerned. I don't know of specific instances of this, but again, you can sort of imagine this sort of the thesis, I guess, of my book, the true nature of America's biggest adversary. You have to understand the Communist Party. This is a group, this is a regime that does these sorts of horrible things to people. Imagine how they view, you know, sort of gullible or financially incentivized Americans who have set up a campus in communist China. It's not good intent, let's say.
Thank you. Ambassador Brownback, thank you for your leadership. You mentioned a number of actions the U.S. should take on the world stage to raise this issue, and yet we have seen in international organizations like the UN, they have been incredibly uncooperative, despite the fact that American taxpayers are footing the majority of the bill. Do you think, well, let me ask it this way, how can the U.S. strongly lead on these issues of human rights? And I think I know the answer to this. Do you think the UN can be a reliable partner of the United States when it comes to addressing this? I certainly do not think it's a reliable partner.
I think they've proven no. They're not interested. But I think more than that, they're so infiltrated by the Chinese Communist Party, the UN is, and so many of the various branches and entities of it. Even if they wanted to, I don't think they could get it. I don't think they could get it done. But that's why it's incumbent upon us, and we're the only country in the world that can do this. Nobody else. So at the G20, religious freedom should be front and center. And remember, they fear religious freedom more than they fear our aircraft carriers or nuclear weapons. This goes right at control to them, and they've got the fastest growing Christian population in the world. So they know this. And they're looking and saying, we've got to hold this down, and these are people we should be standing with and backing aggressively everywhere that we can, and we've got a lot of tools so we can do that, as I've mentioned some of those already.
Thank you very much. Again, thank you, Mr. Chairman, for conducting this very important hearing. I yield back.